Adriana slices strips of pigskin, trimming away most of the fat. The pigskin fries in vegetable oil. The ground beef is sautéed with onions and butter. Then there's morcilla, a blood sausage with rice, peas, and sweet spices, and chorizo, a pork sausage.
En la morcilla podemos ver los morcilla. We can see rice. It also has peas in it. And we can see the color of the cooked blood. And the chorizo here.
Cooking it in thin slices softens the starchy fruit and brings out a little sweetness. When it's time to assemble the platter, Adriana starts with a cup of rice, then adds the seasoned ground beef.
They're exquisite and delicious beans.
Hey.
The beans are cooked with onions, garlic, and bits of skin trimmed from the chicharrones.
Yeah.
Next onto the plate are the blood sausage, the chorizo, the plantains, the chicharrones, and finally, the crowning touch, a fried egg.
Hey.
We have our final product, the bandeja paisa. Every ingredient is 100% Colombian.
That includes the arepa that's usually served on the side. Bandeja paisa is more than a collage of food groups. Mixing a taste of all these different ingredients into one bite, symphony of flavor for each workful.
The chicharron is very crunchy. The meat's very soft. And the plantain is like
When people in Bogota want to start the day with a quick jolt of energy, their drink of choice is a super strong hot chocolate that comes with a cheesy surprise at the bottom of the cup. Take one. They endured unimaginable encounters.
Something is here in my silence and danger.
And survived to tell horrifying tales. It was like I had a ton weight on my chest, and I was shown that the dark exists. Hope is meant to watch.
Hey, can you hear me?
Only paranormal survivor. Sunday night.
Hey.
On Travel Channel. Now we're going. Use the card that gets you miles closer to your promise and start something priceless.
I'm good.
Limits are meant to push you, but I'm not afraid to push back. Chase down your passion. A boot diner.
Oh. Good.
That's what we call it.
My light's broke.
Seriously, that's what we call it officially. And we covered it.
I don't have a light in my room.
We know what they're doing because we've
It's
seen
broke.
a thing or two. We are partners. Driving wind and rain can cost you thousands in repair. I built Swift here. This storm
Yeah,
season,
my light's
get
broke.
the
I
entire
can't.
family of Flex Seal products. Everyone loves Flex Seal. The easy way to coat, seal, protect, and stop leaks fast. This rubberized coating creates a
Sorry.
super strong barrier. It's actually liquid rubber in a can. And our incredible Flex
Hey, it's
Seal
good, this
liquid
mode. What's wrong with that?
super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber.
And you hate Steve too much.
Seal that lasts for years. With Flex Shot, you can caulk, bond, and seal out the elements.
Hmm.
Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs. And for
Don't hate anything.
storm damage, there's Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape. That wind and rain can destroy your home, but Flex Seal don't tight, even in the toughest conditions. Just like batteries and flashlights, make the Flex Seal family part of your storm preparation kit. Imagine winning the lottery. Pick numbers.
Yeah, math is kind of boring.
Your dream home look like. Oh my God! Go
Hey,
big.
Ethan.
You're loaded. Indulge and have
What up?
anything your heart desires. Why? Because you can. Welcome to Equestrian Heaven. Money talks. I'll show you how to live like a millionaire. All new, My Lottery Dream Home, September 21st at 9 on
Oh.
CTV. It's not
Science is cool, ain't it?
it's a revolution in sleep. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is on sale now for $8.99 during Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. It even helps with this. So you wake up ready to put your pedal to the metal. The final days where all beds are on sale.
What grade you in, base man?
60 C2 Smart Bed is now only $8.99, plus 24-month financing on all beds. And Sunday. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep. On Travel Channel, Space Museum takes an all-new tour, and Don's on the case. Anyone who loves puzzles, murder mysteries, or just wants to see justice done, it grabs all new Mysteries at the Museum tomorrow at 9 on Travel Channel. Get more delicious destinations, including never-before-seen video from at travel.com. Plaza de Bolivar is the heart of Bogota, Colombia's old city. One of the largest cathedrals in South America dominates the square. On a narrow street next to the cathedral, there's one of the best places in town to get a steaming cup of chocolate santafereño. It's Bogota's favorite drink. Hot chocolate packed with bread and cheese.
That's strange. The flavor is really good.
Back in 1816, before the cathedral was even finished, a family-run cafe opened.
There, you can see the bricks. See, because my business didn't have a name, the people used to say, "Let's meet at the fake door of the cathedral."
Aura Teresa Sabogal is a
What is it,
descendant of the original owners. Along with the cafe, she inherited the family recipe for chocolate santafereño.
You conserved it without changing anything about the recipe.
Any cup of santafereño starts with the same basic ingredients.
They're used to it being only chocolate and water.
The chocolate is a top bar of 100% ground Colombian cacao. Melting it in boiling water instead of milk gives a vivid taste of pure chocolate. No sugar and no dairy yet. The stirring tool is called a bolinillo, a forerunner of the whisk, invented by Spanish colonists about 300 years ago.
This whisk is wooden because of plastic whisk. It doesn't make the same kind of home.
Then most cooks add a little cane sugar dissolved in water and cinnamon. Our Teresa opts for a different spice. She won't say what it is.
A little bit is sufficient.
Chocolate santafereño comes with 1 cup of steamy foaming chocolate, served on a plate with bread and rolls, and a thick slice of Colombian double cream cheese. Pieces of the cheese are dropped into the chocolate. As it melts, it adds texture, along with a mild dairy taste that's good for dipping or sipping.
So it's good with that sort of greasy chocolate thing. It's really tasty as well. Gives the chocolate that sort of salty kick.
For people having their first taste, chocolate santafereño may take some getting used to.
You want one?
That's quite rich and also strong chocolate thing.
The dish really is all about the chocolate. Pure cacao melted in boiling water with no milk diluting the impact. But the sweetness and the cheese itself accentuate the insane chocolate into it.
It's the flavor is not strictly sweet, so it's sweet, but it is a pure taste of cacao. It's just right.
Thanks, man.
Bogota's food is a mountaintop experience, combining favorites from throughout Colombia with local specialties created by the city's unique blend of climates and cultures. When you come to Bogota, remember to bring a sweater, a raincoat, and a good appetite. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where miles of Atlantic shoreline allow access to some of the world's greatest seafood. The first thing I do is put them. Fresh clams come from the beach, fried in a shack, or stuffed in the shell. They're delicious. I'm going to eat one right now. Early immigrant traditions have made a lasting impact. And local fruit finds its way into some of the sweetest treats. These are the unique foods that define a location. It's just a burst of deliciousness in your mouth. And the legendary pleasures will travel halfway around the world to eat. Decadent. I'm Andrew Zimmern, and this is Cape Cod, another delicious destination. Cape Cod, Massachusetts is New England's summertime playground. An idyllic peninsula that lures 5 million vacationers a year with more than 100 beaches and 15 seaside communities, defined by the great shingled colonial homes and beckoning lighthouses that dot the landscape. Unbelievable beaches, wicked good food. It's different than any other place I've ever been. Curling like a flexed arm off the coast of southern Massachusetts into the Atlantic Ocean, the Cape's history, industry, and food have all come from the sea.
There's not too many places you can go where the fish is so fresh you need to slap it. It literally is so close it can jump from the water right onto your plate.
A New England tradition that celebrates local fish and shellfish is the clam bake, a feast featuring not only clams, but lobster and mussels, corn and potato, steamed over hot rocks and seaweed right on the sand. It's almost like a luau or a crawfish boil in Louisiana. That's what clam bake is to New England. The clam bake is one of America's oldest culinary traditions. Native Americans cooked shellfish in sand pits 2,000 years ago and taught settlers the technique. Over the last 4 centuries, it's evolved into a summertime staple for large gatherings of family and community. You can order clam bake all over the Cape, but most restaurants boil the seafood rather than bake it in the traditional way, over a charcoal-fired rock pit on the beach. During the summer, Chef Anthony Cole puts on a true clam bake every day at the Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn. Settled in 1664 at the elbow of the Cape, the town of Chatham became a successful shipping, fishing, and whaling village. Adjacent to the Beach House, the Chatham Pier and Fish Market is a hot spot for watching commercial fishermen pull up and unload their fresh catch. The sandbars here teem with shellfish, and Anthony is an avid clammer and a clam bake pro. This is the start of our clam bake. Hardwood, charcoal, local oak, and maple are layered over field stones. Traditionally, you do dig a pit and you line that pit with rocks. What we've done here, though, is we wanted everybody to see it. So we elevated the pit up. As the fire burns over the next 4 hours, coal and ash work down into the crevices, heating the rocks. Anthony's team hauls out bins of live lobsters, local clams, mussels, corn, and red potatoes. This is the seaweed we use. Hot rock. Here, the salt water, as the food cooks, these pods of salt water burst and create steam. Seaweed that is bright green is the hottest. They about 30 lobsters, then the bag of produce and shellfish onto the salty bed. A soaked canvas tarp adds a top layer of moisture, and a plastic tarp seals it all in, creating a massive steam oven. We don't check on it. Once it's sealed, we know it's going to be ready in an hour. An hour later, when the clams and mussels have opened and the lobsters are red, the team whisks it all to the kitchen for finishing touches and loads it into large pots for serving.
This is fun. Big time.
The steam comes off, it gives it that great flavor and unique smoky flavor on the seaweed, and it's really unlike anything else that you can experience. Decadent, spectacular.
very special because the food is just in its purest form and it's so fresh. The sun is setting, it's gorgeous, you're right on the water. The lobsters came from the shore actually where we are sitting at our table right now.
Yeah, I want you to
Clams, the mussels, everything is delicious.
Clam bakes are crowd pleasers on the Cape, but only one dish lays claim to being its namesake: cod. The fresh-caught, flaky white fish has been attacking bigger numbers, allowing for some commercial harvests. Today, a few fishermen from local waters north of the bringing cod. They sell their catch to local restaurants like the Brewster Fish House, owned by Vernon Smith.
Hey, it's a beautiful fish to work with, and because it's locally sourced, you can't get any fresher than that.
Brewster is a quaint town on the bay side of Cape Cod that grew up around the Stony Brook Grist Mill, the first water-powered mill of its kind in the country. Vernon bought the fish house here with his brother in 1982 when it was a rundown farm stand and fish market. They transformed it into a charming restaurant that became a favorite of Julia Childs. Executive chef Eric Schnackenberg's signature dish is pan-seared cod with sauce americaine.
So what you do is you start the fin, you're going to cut up here, and I'm going to follow the spine all the way down.
After Eric breaks down the fish, he moves on to the sauce.
The American sauce is named after the region of France where it was created. Very popular for fishing, and it was created centuries ago.
A melange of lobster legs, vegetables, and tomato paste are sautéed and flambéed with brandy, forming an intensely flavored stock.
And once the flavor's right, I will discard, take away the lobster legs, and I'll blend it. Then we finish with heavy cream.
Salt and white pepper are the only seasoning the cod gets before being seared over high heat.
You'll start to notice the golden brown hue right around the edge of it, and that's when you know it's ready to take off the burner and finish it in the oven.
The sauce americaine is so rich that just a few drops are needed. The cod is served with pan-fried fingerling potato, roasted red pepper, and pickledy onion.
It was fresh and flaky and moist.
The sauce is mixed with a little bit of lobster and cream. It matches the fish well.
It's so versatile. You can have it fried in fish and chips. You know, you can have it in an amazing dish like this, and it's completely for me.
This peninsula may be named for cod, but its other famous seafood is a pure Cape experience. Whether you have them battered and fried, like a Thanksgiving turkey.
For the first time ever, the Tennessee Race Chasers are on a weekly hunt. Live on the Haunted Live premieres weekly starting September 14th at 10 on Travel Channel.
Hungry to explore unique flavors? Try New Stouffer's Urban Bistro, with ingredients like Kentucky bourbon, aged in charred oak barrels for that sweet taste. Feed your hunger for flavors like bourbon glazed chicken with New Stouffer's Urban Bistro. Stouffer's, what are you hungry for?
Lower
Oh,
carbs,
that's good, man.
lower calories. Higher expectations. Revolution in sleep. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed is on sale now for $8.99 during Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you full and comfortable. It even helps with this. So you wake up ready to put your pedal to the metal. It's the final days where all beds are on sale. The Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is now only $8.99, plus 24-month financing on all beds. And Sunday. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep.
It's the $3.49 King Meal Deal. Get 2 sandwiches, fries, and a drink for $3.49. Get 2 cheeseburgers or 2 chicken juniors, or one of each for just $3.49. Or get 10 nuggets for just $1.69. Only at Burger King.
Take us downtown, Wave.
Wave integration. Seamlessly connecting the world inside with the world outside. Making life a little easier. Introducing the well-connected Lincoln MK. Something is cured. My son was in jail.
And so by to tell 4 lucky tales. It was like I had a ton weight on my chest. I was shown that the dark exists. But then, hope is where it's haunted.
I was terrified to say, Mom.
Only paranormal survivor Sunday night on Travel Channel.
Along the southern coast of Massachusetts, the narrow peninsula of Cape Cod, 600 miles of coastline, has been out to eat for food. Clams and Cape Cod are synonymous with each other. They're the burrowing mollusk most celebrated here, and a favorite recipe is for stuffed quahogs, also called stuffies. They're a mix of chopped clams, sausage, and breadcrumbs, stuffed and baked in the half shell.
You can get stuffed quahogs pretty much in any restaurant on Cape Cod. It's not stuffed quahogs around here in the summertime.
Quahogs are the same species of hard-shelled clam as little neck and cherry stone. The difference is their age and size. The youngest and smallest are little necks. Cherry stones are larger and more mature, and quahogs are the biggest at about a half pound each. As quahogs grow, the meat becomes thicker and tougher, making them ideal to be cooked and chopped in chowders and stuffings. The lobster trap sells nearly 1,000 stuffed quahogs each week during peak season. It's a clam shack and fish market first opened in 1969 and later expanded by current owner David Delancey.
Turn into a year-round viable restaurant.
The lobster trap sits on the Back River estuary of Buzzards Bay in Bourne. The town is known as the gateway to the Cape because its 2 bridges span Cape Cod Canal from mainland Massachusetts. Local shellfish farmers often deliver their catch right to the restaurant dock, and then Dave turns them over to executive chef Dan Delancey, who also happens to be his brother.
Let's do it. So I'm going to put these in the brazen pan. Then we add our reserve liquid from this. Sometimes the meat falls out of the shell, which makes it easier.
He gives the clams a rough chop. Stuffies started as a cheap way to extend valuable clam meat, fortifying the mollusks with bread, vegetables, and spicy grilled Portuguese chorizo, a local favorite of Cape's large Portuguese community.
Get that nice paprika, nice spice to it.
Fennel, garlic, butter, the bug, and clam juice are then pouring in crumbled cornbread.
Flavor it kind of sucks into the cornbread stuffing. It kind of holds it all nicely together.
Dan stuffs it into a half clam shell, drizzles melted butter, and bakes them until brown and crispy.
I like just a little bit of butter, lemon over the top, and then once I get into a quahog, the first thing I do is my bread.
It's like holidays with the family, backyard barbecues in the summertime, and one rice on the beach. The spice from the sausage balances the flavor of the clam. My grandmother dug quahogs across the water here. It's been a staple of our food and our culture for a long time.
Stuffies are a way to make comfort food out of the tough quahogs, while a simple preparation of a different species, a more tender clam called a soft shell clam or a steamer, is used to make fried clams. They're whole, lightly battered, and deep fried. Clamming is a multi-million-dollar commercial industry in Cape Cod. Farmers in Bayman harvest up and down the shore.
Yeah,
the Cape shallow bays and beaches create ideal conditions where, when the tide is out, pretty much anyone with a rake, a bucket, and a permit can walk out and dig up a pet of fresh clams. The prime place to eat clams is at one of the Cape's many fried seafood joints, like Spanky's Clam Shack and Seaside Saloon, owned by best friends Billy Moore and Jeff Spillman.
Spanky was a nickname of mine that I picked up. Somebody way back said, "Hey, Spanky Spillman," and it stuck.
Located in Hyannis Harbor, Spanky's is just a few minutes from the famous Kennedy family compound in Hyannisport and looks out on 2 boat lines that ferry vacationers to the islands of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. Chef Skip Setcher's been frying up mounds of clams here for over a decade. We go through anywhere in the day. Most people are familiar with fried clam strips, made famous by Howard Johnson's restaurant since the 1940s. They're made from the burrowing foot of any of several clam species, sliced into long pieces. Die-hard Cape Codders prefer a fried whole steamer or soft shell clam, belly and all.
This is a whole belly clam, and this is the outer part of the clam that holds it into the shell. It actually feeds through the sand and filters off whatever they feed on. And that's what ends up in their belly. And I think that's what makes them sweet.
The clams are dumped in evaporated milk, which adds a bit of sweetness and helps the fry batter stick.
It's a yellow cornmeal, wheat flour.
The bellies are deep fried and then served over fries with house-made coleslaw and tartar sauce.
All my summers out of the cave. And whenever I come here, the thing I look forward to most is my first fried whole belly clam meal. The belly of the clam is definitely more sweet versus salty.
The strips you can get anywhere, and I think the taste is a little more than what a clam should be.
They're really unique. They're really nothing like anything you have. They're perfectly battered. They're delicious. I'm going to eat one right now. Unbelievable. On the Cape, lunch and dinner come straight from the sea, but favorite breakfast travels all the way across the Atlantic.
Why bother mastering something? Why test a hybrid engine for over 6 million miles? Why hand-tune an audio system? Why include the most advanced active safety systems of class? Because when you want to create an entirely new feeling, the difference between excellence and mastery is all the difference in the world. Introducing the all-new Lexus EX. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling. A product of mastery. Experience amazing.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, Rian's was one. People always have
Hoops and wings burgers.
and learned it.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill and an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be go.
Tailgate 101.
Meet Cracker Barrel's new